Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to Today in Bitcoin. Today is January the 7th, 2017. I'd like to thank the person who sent me the Monero. Thanks a lot. Bitcoin is back in the 900s. Isn't that great? I hope the beginning of this was not cut off again. My buddy Shane, who interviewed me before earlier this in 2016, he posted a great Twitter tweet on his Modern Apostate account. I will link to it. It's a great tweet about topics of confusion, Bitcoin, that have been coming up lately, because there are many new people to Bitcoin who are confused, and people just start spreading falsehoods. So here are the things we need to refute and get ready to refute. Bitcoin is fiat. It's a harbinger of a cashless globalist society. Chinese hegemony over it. It's hackable. All of those are FUD issues that we need to tackle and to refute. They're not true, and we have to be prepared to say, hey, that's BS. I'd like to thank PJ, a guy who watches this channel. He sent me a great Medium post by Charlie Lee. Oh my God. And Charlie Lee is the guy who came up with Litecoin. He works for Coinbase. He wrote about Litecoin and the Lightning Network and segregated witness, which is Segwit, which he wants to be implemented on Litecoin and Bitcoin. He supports that. And I also support that. I just want to put that out. I mean, obviously I do. I'm against the Roger Ver school of thought with these insane hard forks or whatever he wants to do. No, I am for Bitcoin adopting Segwit and Litecoin. And Charlie Lee, in the article, he gives a use case for Litecoin, actually. He talks about, I mean, he gives good reasons why it is the silver to Bitcoin's gold. It's the one altcoin out there that's not, I mean, the one major one out there that's not, it's not really talking about, overtaking Bitcoin. It's a complement to Bitcoin. I mean, he almost says that he wants it to be a test net for segregated witness. He wants Litecoin to be I think that's great. And I think it's going to help Litecoin in the long run. I mean, he says the use case for Litecoin is that even when Lightning Network, segregated witness, when they're live, it will still be cheaper to do certain things on Litecoin than to do it with Bitcoin. There'll always be a need for Litecoin, and he gives good reasons. So I will link to that very good post by Charlie Lee. Peter Schiff on his latest show, starting at the 10-minute mark, I will link to this show below. He starts talking about Bitcoin, and he's not being nice to Bitcoin. It's interesting, and he goes on for about 20 minutes. He goes on, and he says he basically calls certain people in Bitcoin like part of a cult, which I find ironic, considering his unwavering, to put it politely, his unwavering and unchanging stand toward certain issues and certain aspects of gold. So again, I think Peter Schiff he doesn't fully understand Bitcoin, and he needs to think a little bit more long-term with Bitcoin. I think he's kind of really obsessed with the current volatility. But anyway, he really is stuck. I think he finds it a competitor to gold, which it isn't real. I mean, they're different. And I think he finds it as a threat to gold. And that's why he kind of is not so nice to Bitcoin. So, and people shouldn't see it that way. They shouldn't see Bitcoin as a threat to gold. It's a threat to centralization of the world. It's a decentralization agent, and he doesn't get the decentralized aspect of all this. The other day, I forgot to mention some of the China FUD that's been going on. And there's an article I will link to that does a pretty good job of explaining like what really happened. The Chinese government, some authorities met with some of the exchanges out there in China and tried to give them some new rules about know your customer, about automated bots, and how to market themselves to people. And this FUD was, and these aspects of the talks were used as FUD because people were kind of saying, oh, China almost outlawed Bitcoin. And that's, all these China outlawed Bitcoin things come about every 3 to 4 months now or something. So I actually think the Chinese market getting rid of, if they really get rid of automated bots, if they make the Chinese markets more transparent and more legitimate that sell Bitcoin, I think that could be good. Now, again, I'm not into authoritarian governments issuing directives to companies. I'm not into that. But if they change the way they act, some of these companies, and it becomes more legitimate over there, that'll help Bitcoin. So anyway, poll results are in from the Coinbase. What altcoin should we add to our exchange or our site? Yeah, our site. And that I talked about that the other day. And it's funny, the poll they had on Twitter it ended up being rigged, should we say. The people at Navcoin took full advantage of this marketing opportunity. You got to give them credit. They're in the marketing. Good job, guys. And they won they came out ahead in the poll. And so I will link to the tweet that talks about that. You have to scroll up to kind of see some more information. It's very interesting, to tell you the truth. In reality, it appears that there were 3 or 4 coins that got a lot of votes: Litecoin, Monero, Dash, and Ethereum Classic. And most likely, it appears Monero won. Will Coinbase add Monero? I think it would be great. I think the reputation of Monero is too dark for them to add it. But if they did, I think it would be great. Anyway, finally, the Bitcoin group had a show. It was okay. The thing I didn't like about it is that they started talking about the NFL playoff games. And as you all know, I gave up on the NFL this year. I didn't even know. I had heard some of the teams that were maybe in it. He gives all the list of the games this weekend. So I found out more about the NFL than I wanted to know. You cannot run away from the NFL, man. It is just, it's everywhere. Even on a Bitcoin show, it's kind of, I don't know. Didn't have to talk about it. So anyway, I thought that was funny. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. I post a new video here every day, so come on back all the time. Check out the archives, retweet, spread the word. I hope you enjoyed today in Bitcoin.